Good morning, Tuesday morning, heading out to Tel Aviv to meet a guy named Rafa Cohen, who is the head of product at Waze, now Google, and I dressed accordingly. Haven't met the guy, but we've been following each other on Twitter for a while, and pumped to catch up and get to know him a little bit and hear about his work. Also, I do hope I can get him on camera, but that is, I would say the chances of that are pretty low. After that, meeting a woman named Fuld, so we have the same last name, met at the Our Crowd Summit. Don't know if we're related, but that is a topic we will determine in the meeting, among other things. After that, going to Odyssey, the VR startup I met a couple of weeks ago. One of the most immersive experiences I've ever had, and just to catch up and hear what's up with them. Super geeky day ahead, pumped about it. Let's do this. Believe in miracles. That's Google for Startups, where I'm going right now. And this is right here, parking on the street in Tel Aviv. What? I think by now, episode 312, I think we're up to. You guys know that I've been fortunate to meet some fascinating people, and that's the understatement of the century. And again, I'll just reiterate what I've said before. The reason I started this vlog is because everyone knows Waze, everyone knows Mobileye, everyone knows Wix, but very few people could name the names behind the magic. And I'm like, that's crazy. I'm meeting these people all the time. I'm gonna walk around the camera and start interviewing people. The, I would say, epitome of that is this meeting right now. Because first of all, I'm sitting next to this man who is leading product at Waze globally. So you use Waze. I don't know who you are that's watching right now, but I guarantee you use Waze. Everyone uses Waze. Forget for one second.
If you don't, you should.
There you go. He can't. He's a marketer too. But forget for one second the Google relationship. I mean, Waze is a different level of market penetration. That's a market dominance. There's no other, and I'm being careful not to say navigation app, but there's no other transportation service of that.
Well, we aspire to be a transportation service. We're still a navigation app. This
Okay.
We are widely regarded.
I'm looking to the future, man. At the scale of Waze. So let's just start from the beginning. Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Rafa Cohen. I lead product at Waze.
Okay. So first of all, if you're watching this and you're in Israel and you're one of those people that says, Twitter, but this happened because of Twitter. Just so you know. We've been following each other.
Sure. Yeah.
This meeting happened because of Twitter. So if that's not enough reason to join the platform, then I don't know what is. But Twitter is a phenomenon. We were just talking about if I had to shut down all my social platforms and just use one, it would be Twitter. So there's a sales pitch for Twitter. But okay. All right. So you lead. So give me like 20-second background before, like, what'd you do before?
I came to Israel from France, joined the army, studied at the yeshiva.
Wait, you're French?
I am, yeah.
No
I used
idea.
to be. Yeah.
Where?
Paris.
Nice.
Yeah.
I work closely with VivaTech. You know VivaTech?
No, I don't.
It's like the biggest tech conference in Europe, but it's
Yeah, I
in
left the
Paris.
country a very long time ago.
Okay,
I
so
hardly remember it.
So you're French, came to Israel?
Yeah, I joined the army, studied at the Technion, electrical engineering, worked for a few startups, large companies.
You went to yeshiva?
I did, yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
So you grew up religious?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. May I ask about that?
Of course, yeah.
When did you decide to become less religious, let's call it, or?
It was a process.
I'm just curious. We'll talk about that off camera. All right.
Thank you.
Doesn't matter. You went to yeshiva, my lad name, right?
Yeah.
Like yeshiva. Like that's Jewish. For those that are watching that don't know, yeshiva is Jewish school where I went. And anyway, that's just like a nice surprise. I had no idea, but okay, cool. So you worked at a couple of startups and then?
And then joined Google 4 years ago, and Waze 2.5 years ago.
Okay, and you joined Waze in what capacity? What was your role?
I was a product manager working for Carpool. We're the team that started Carpool here at Waze, and then took over the whole Carpool crew, and then I became head of products in April of last year, almost a year ago. Yeah.
Incredible. Is it a dream?
It is.
You wake up every morning and like literally say, how is this my life?
It is. I'm enjoying every minute of it. That's
Dude.
like actually, that's my passion.
You said something that's resonated with me very, very deeply a second ago before I turned on the camera. You said, we're all looking for impact. Every little decision that you make here, you could move a button an inch and it's like impact that's like a different level impact. I mean, you're impacting billions of lives.
Yeah.
It's how many users does Waze have, by the way?
So it depends how you count.
Right.
We have like this industry standard of counting monthly active users.
Okay.
Users who actually open the app. So we have close to 120 million.
120 million that use the app
Active users monthly.
monthly. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we have less people who actually use the app as drivers. And the difference is due to people who actually check ETA, plan for drives, get reminders when to leave their house, stuff like that. They don't actually use Waze as intended. So we're like one of the focus of next year is going to be how to serve those people, those users better.
Amazing. Do you know? I'm just curious, just for my own, vanity metrics. How many downloads Waze has?
Over the years,
Yeah.
close to 1 billion.
Do you understand? Like, do you listen to yours? Like, a billion.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
how many products out there have 1 billion downloads? It's completely bananas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, unbelievable.
It doesn't matter, right? The download.
I know, but still,
But
it's
still,
pretty
yeah.
unbelievable.
But still.
Okay, so I think, again, I don't know how we originally connected, but I've been tweeting recently about something that I found fascinating, which is I'm a Waze power user. I've been using it since day one. Live and breathe Waze. I do not go to the supermarket down the block without Waze. I'm actually not kidding.
Very good.
I have zero sense of direction. It's ridiculous. But I only recently discovered a feature that has changed my life, and that is not an exaggeration. Plan drive. Now, you might be watching this thinking, hello, it's been around for years. Yeah, I didn't discover it until recently. And now, when I'm having my morning coffee, I choose my location, I hit plan drive, and I know when I can leave my house. And I said, for me, it's pathetic that I only discovered it recently. And you said, no, actually, it's my fault. That you as a product guy.
Absolutely.
I love that you said that. But irrelevant of anything, talk to me about like the vision, the mission here, because you said things that I didn't even know about. Talk to me about that. What's your mission?
So our mission, it used to be outsmarting traffic together, like how this community is going to help one each other to outsmart traffic, bypass traffic. But now we're too big to do that. Like we are the traffic. So we took it to the next level, which is actually eliminating traffic altogether.
Love it.
And that's the next mission, taking cars off the road. And the cornerstone of the strategies is carpool, but it's also like planned drives, because in planned drives, when we connect with the user the day before they need to drive, they need to commute, we actually have an opportunity for much greater impact than when they start the car, right? You can actually tell them, instead of 7:30, get out of your house at 7:15, for instance,
Right.
and then there'll be less traffic. Or, carpool with Hillel and take the carpool lane, and then, you'll save not 20 minutes, but 30 minutes.
Love it.
And we have an opportunity as because we have this scale to actually impact the traffic at the city level, and that's something that's really unique.
I want to say something that's going to put a little bit of a downer on this meeting, but I was reading this morning about the unfortunate live stream of the New Zealand attack. I was reading an article about Facebook's metrics, and it was saying on Facebook that only like 200 people watched the original live stream, but then it was shared like a trillion times, and by the time they took it down, they showed, and someone, whoever tweeted that article, said something that I found to be very profound and accurate, which is now Facebook's scale is working against it, because even if only 0.00001% of its users saw that video, we're talking about like millions and millions of people who witnessed that atrocity in real time. It's crazy. So the concept of scale on the one hand brings privileges, but it brings insane responsibility.
Exactly. With great powers come
There you go.
great responsibility,
Yeah.
and this is like how how it all started. We said like we can't bypass traffic anymore. It doesn't exist. Like as Israelis, we know that very well. But even in the U.S. and France, Brazil, those countries where Waze has an amazing penetration. Like in France, we have like 12 million active users. That's crazy scale, right? So we can't bypass traffic. We are the traffic. People who sit in traffic are sitting in traffic with Waze, and we don't have a solution for them anymore. Right. Except taking cars off the road and helping them doing that.
So I'll just say this, like I told you before, this isn't live, so if you don't want to talk about this on camera, we cannot talk about it on camera. But when I talk to you about your challenges, you said there's a psychological challenge. Can you
Absolutely.
tell me about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like the thing that makes me think we can actually do it is that Airbnb did something even trickier in a sense,
Good
like
point.
convincing people to share their home,
Yeah.
which is like absolutely crazy.
Right.
And this is how like it was so difficult to them to find investors. Yeah, that's a crazy idea.
Right.
So we need to do the same. At least you're not asleep. that's the
Well,
that's
in the
good
future, in the
news.
cars with the
Yeah,
autonomous.
maybe you will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Right.
it's the most stressful time of the day.
Traffic.
Traffic,
Yeah.
commutes. You need to get to work on time. You have a meeting, maybe you need to drop off your kids at school, etc. It's really, really stressful. It's a confined space. You hate everyone in traffic, of course, and you shout and you're angry, especially in Israel. So sharing this time with someone else is convincing people that's the right thing to do is really challenging. And in order to do that, I believe that it's not an algorithm problem; it's a design problem. Psychology, absolutely. We have the cultural shift will happen if the experience of driving together is actually better than commuting alone, and I believe that's achievable.
Incredible. And at the end of the day, like you said, another thing we talked about is the whole marketplace concept, because you have demand, supply, you have drivers, you have riders, etc., etc. And then, this is a challenge that many other people have been coping with. But I told you, and this is like I'm not even asking, I'm demanding that you sit with Gigi Levy. I'm going to introduce you guys. I mean, the guy is just when it comes to marketplaces. I think you're first of all, you're gonna have an amazing meeting, because between your energy and his energy, you're gonna have an amazing meeting. But he's gonna. I mean, I think he'll tell you things in terms of growing marketplaces that you never even thought about. It's unbelievable. Listen, dude. Bottom line, amazing to meet you. Super duper happy you found the time. I appreciate that. And of course, this is the most important thing here. Hang on. The most important thing. I appreciate the swag. Beautiful. But listen, jokes aside, I'm serious now. Like, I don't know, and I tried to get to the bottom of this in our meeting, but it's difficult because you really are building something so impactful. But I don't know, if you have any challenges that I can maybe be of any value or any help with. But if anything pops into your head that you're like, wait, maybe Hillel can help with that.
Try couple once.
Done.
Do it once.
Done. I'm doing it. No question. I'm gonna do it.
Great.
What day is it today?
Today's
Tuesday, so Purim this week, so I'm not driving much this week. Next week I'm doing it.
Fantastic.
Done. I'll give you product feedback. Fix that plan drive from the screen that I showed you, because I didn't know you could swipe up.
On it.
But listen, dude, honestly, anything I can do to help you in any way whatsoever, it would be an honor for me, because I'm, like I said, Waze user like from day one, and it's for me, it's beyond that. It's actually like national pride, because as far as I'm concerned, Waze is the biggest brand, consumer brand that's ever been built in Israel. So it's super awesome, and yeah, man, anything else that comes into your head that maybe Hillel can help, just ping me.
I can think of anything.
Definitely.
Make your friends couple.
Done. I'm not even kidding, by the way. I'm serious. I'm gonna become your unofficial evangelist. Anyway, dude, thank you very, very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the swag, of course. That's the only reason I came here today, for the swag. So there are meetings, and then there are meetings, and then there's that meeting. I mean, I don't know if you could pick up on just how smart that dude is, but you understand that he literally makes decisions that impact billions. I mean, it's not only the drivers, it's the drivers around the drivers who are using Waze. It's the entire infrastructure of transportation globally. Waze, head of product, unbelievable. I love being the dumbest person around the table. In this case, by a huge margin, that guy is... Anywho, now I'm going to Aroma to meet Shana Fuld. So at the Our Crowd Summit, I get off stage, and everyone's crowding around Nas Daily because he's Nas Daily. And a couple people came over to me, and I was like, oh, that's like a mercy. That's like a mercy hello. It's so nice of you to come say hi to me. But then there was one person who stood out because her name was
Shana Fuld.
Is it Shana? I thought it was Shana.
Shana.
What is Shana?
It's my unique name from Queens, South
Shana.
Queens.
So let's walk slower because wow, we're like. A lot of energy.
I'm a New Yorker, so I walk really fast.
So Shana Fuld. So I'm like, okay, I need to know, like, what is the deal? Are we related? And so did we like reschedule twice or something like that? Did I make that up?
Yeah, we were supposed to meet yesterday. We scheduled for today.
Okay, so we just met, and there's zero chance that we're not related, meaning we are definitely related. We'll figure that out. You sent me your family tree. I'm gonna do a little research. But tell me who you are professionally, background. Hit me with your story.
Okay, I'm Shana Fuld. I'm from Queens.
I'm from Queens too, by the way.
Yeah, we're both from Queens.
Yeah.
Queens.
Good energy. Good energy.
Queens.
Do you drink coffee or?
No, no coffee.
So this is all natural.
This is just me.
You know how many coffees I had today?
How many?
3.
Okay. Yeah.
And a Red Bull.
Okay. I did a green tea.
Oh, this is good. The shade, much better light. Oh, there you go. Much better lighted. Okay, I think we're gonna do this. Yeah, go on.
Okay. So I went to school for broadcast journalism and Spanish. Hablo español. And see?
Dude, you're full of surprises.
Viví en Costa Rica.
Holy smokes.
And
that's awesome.
Then I worked at New York One News, which was my beloved news channel, my local news channel, my dream news channel that I watched every morning in middle school and high school. And then I worked there for 2 years, and I said, I'm ready for an adventure. I'm ready for Israel. I'm ready to be a news reporter in Israel.
Like, but realistically speaking, like, you literally just picked up and...
Realistically speaking, I spent 1 month looking for a job every morning. At the same time, I applied for jobs, interviewed on the phone, found a couple of things. I didn't have anything set, and then I just moved, and I said,
Let's keep walking. It's good,
I'll
good shade
figure
here.
it out.
Okay, so you moved here, literally just boom, one day, you just literally adventure.
Did not have an apartment.
Amazing. And you live, by the way, funny story, but not for now, you live with relatives in a very interesting, super ultra Orthodox community, which you're not.
Yes.
But you are traditional, now a little more.
Now a little more.
Okay, beautiful. By the way,
Getting into it.
Purim is going to be, have you seen Israel on Purim ever?
No.
It's going to be an interesting experience the next couple of days. You'll see. It's everyone in their costumes.
It's pretty awesome.
Okay, so bottom line, you moved here, you didn't have an apartment, didn't have a job, now you have both. Where do you work?
I work at Tip Ranks, and Tip Ranks is not a traditional news station, which for me was kind of a leap. And I just read something yesterday, do the things that scare you the most. And working at Tip Ranks scared me the most because I always thought I was going to work in a newsroom for the rest of my life.
Right. And you had offers. I mean, you did have discussions to work in traditional newsrooms.
I could have worked in a traditional newsroom, 2 traditional newsrooms, but I said, let me try something new. And now I'm doing content for a financial data company and doing cannabis.
Well, cannabis also, not just cannabis, right?
Focusing on cannabis,
Oh, I didn't know that.
tech.
Oh, cool. All right, so I've heard of Tip Ranks many, many times. Turns out your CEO and I have spoken. Just looking at our Facebook messages, we've spoken many times. I don't think I've ever met him face to face. If I had, it's gonna be super awkward now that I said that. But I have heard of Tip Ranks, hundreds of times over the years. So number one, you have to get me in the office to meet your team. Number two, you have to tell me, not now, but in the future, figure it out, how I can help you win. We have some very concrete ideas, which we're gonna execute on right now, some intros that I wanna make for you. But listen, it's super cool to meet you. We'll figure out how we're related. I told her, this is a little bit awkward to say on video, but I did tell her, if we are related, like I couldn't get her eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. They're like, what? Okay. Anyway, this was super, super duper cool. I'm running to my next meeting, but let's definitely, we can have a cup of Coke Zero and green tea anytime. I'm gonna say cup of coffee. Neither of us had coffee though. But no, listen, really, you have good energy. You're gonna do well here. I'm really cool to meet you. Very small world, and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll discuss the ideas that we had. Take them further because you got to do them.
Team Fuld.
There you go.
Team Fuld.
What a way to end the interview. That's awesome. Till next time. Super cool meeting with Odyssey, the VR company that I met a couple of weeks ago. The challenge here is that this company built something that is genuinely futuristic, by far the most immersive VR experience I've ever had. But how do you communicate that experience? So you can't really do marketing because you got to experience it, you got to demo it to understand it. It's a real problem. Anywho, back to Beit Shemesh now to meet another startup locally. And then the next 2 days are holidays here in Israel, so I'm pretty sure I won't be vlogging. Maybe a half a day tomorrow at Powtoon. We shall see. See you tomorrow.